guys, yesterday was rough, and that's where we start. He has been so important, so speedy, so crucial to what the Dolphins have been able to do so far, and it sounds like he's going to be out a couple of weeks with this knee injury. I do want to focus on what happens when he does return, because we're underreacting to that, and we're underreacting to the rarity and the rare air of the season he's having. And we love the Pukas, and we're talking about all that, but let's give Achane his love. This speed has been blinding, guys. He set an NFL record this weekend by scoring his 7th touchdown, the most through a player's first 7 games in all of NFL history. He's also currently second in the league in rushing. And impressive as all of that is, sort of, it pales in comparison to what I'm about to show you. Are you ready for this? Give me the full screen gold farb in our studio in LA, where I'm sending love, and I miss everybody a lot. Everyone's working their asses off this week. Look at this. This is the season single yards per carry leader among running backs board, okay? Achane averaging over 12 yards a pop. No one even close. No one in the stratosphere, especially when you look at the last 60 years. Are we kidding? I mean, we have guys from the Dallas Texans, okay? The Dallas Texans, soon to be the Kansas City Chiefs at some point in time. A guy named, guys, Beatty Feathers is on this list. This is video game stuff. I never thought we would see anything like this in my lifetime. And so we are wishing our guy, Achane, a speedy recovery. We are sending you the love, because what you are doing is rare air and incredible. And we care here on Up and Adams about the health of the players, about everything. And I really need to see if he can sustain this for an entire season. I don't want this to be one of those like Brock Purdy streaks where we're like, can he do it, blah, 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 going into the next season. The Dolphins have landed themselves a true talent at the RB spot. Go heal up, rest up, and come back and kill it, kid. All right, I think we're underreacting also. Should we do Desmond Ritter next? Or should we do Russell? Desmond? All right, let's go. Should we do Ritter? Okay, let's do Desmond Ritter here. This is another underreaction. If you guys have them, shoot them our way at Up and Adams Show. But we're underreacting to how well the mustachioed one, Arthur Smith, is handling the Desmond Ritter and the whole quarterback situation over the past 2 weeks. You get back-to-back losses. You start to get questions about your quarterback. You start to say, well, you scored, 13 total points in 2 games. Questions start to mount. Should you come to Wilton Arms for steak Wednesday? Yes. Should you change your quarterback because you got Taylor Heineke? Maybe. And here's what he said following their loss here in London.
Appreciate the question. Those are always going to come up, right, when you've got 2 games back-to-back that, you don't score enough points. So you understand the question. You got a young player in his 8th start, and you got to find out, there's a fine line of being stubborn, in situations and coming out of halftime and see what he's got, because otherwise you'll never know.
Okay, so this is a couple of weeks ago. They had a bad loss. First of all, I love everything about this man. I love his look. I love his attitude. I love how he carries himself. I like how he's trying to run his offense. And I like what he's saying here, because he's towing that line perfectly. And he gave him sort of a shot. He's giving his young quarterback a chance. And he's saying, Desmond, show me what you're made of. And guess what Desmond did, people? Something that we're underreacting to. Let's take a look at what happened against the Texans on Sunday. Career high, 329 yards and a touchdown. He runs in another. Outplays number 2 overall pick and Rookie of the Year favorite, C.J. Stroud. He led a surgical 2-minute drive to lead the Falcons to the comeback win. And I feel like we've grown really impatient and we don't really give young quarterbacks a chance. It was awesome. Sorry, I got to switch whatever's going on here. Is this clipped on me? It just keeps falling out of my ear. Sorry, guys. There we go. That's perfect. We're good. So he outduels C.J. Stroud, who everybody's talking about. Everybody loves him. You heard Cam Jordan about him yesterday. I know from reading my show notes and going through my show meeting here in London that Rob Gronkowski also high on C.J. Stroud, but it was all about Ritter. And I feel like, we as a society have grown so impatient with young quarterbacks, what they can do. It's a very short leash when it comes to letting some of these young guys work it out. And the patience by Arthur Smith, who's, by the way, not somebody that I would be like, name your 10 most patient coaches in the NFL. He probably would have. He's an aggressive madman, as we always talk about him. Like, I'd be very surprised to say that he was going to give him some rope here, and he did, and it was awesome to see that. So there's a lot to be determined. We don't quite know what the future is for Ritter right now. We don't know what the rest of the season is, but I'm just looking at them. They're 3-2. Okay, here's our next schedule. 3 winnable games, right? They've got the Commanders, and my guy, they've got the Bucks, they've got the Titans. If they can build off of Sunday, and I'm going to say, if they can win 2 of those next 3, which I think is perfectly appropriate and can happen, I'm going to go ahead and say that they're in the playoff mix as we approach the halfway point of the season. And at that halfway point of the season, I'm just going to go out there and say, I'm probably going to be still in London. I got no reason to go back to the United States of America. I'm doing plenty well over here. I think I might just be hanging out here at Wilton Arms for steak nights on Wednesday. All right, let's get to one more here. Oh, gosh. Here, this is where if you guys start throwing your tomatoes at me on Twitter. I want to talk about Russell Wilson being good. I want to talk about how great he looks out there, and we're doing it right here. We're underreacting to how well he has played, given how historically piss poor that defense has not shown up for Sean Payton and Russell Wilson, and you, Denver Broncos fans, so far this year. Look at what Russ has done. Take a look. Take a peek here. Over 5 weeks. These are the Russell numbers we're used to seeing. He's top 5 in touchdown interception ratio and passer rating. He's posted the 3rd highest completion percentage of his career. On top of that, he's been mobile. He's been accurate. He's leading the Broncos on some big drives. Me and Hamilton keep being like, he looks pretty good. I don't know. He looks pretty good. And yes, he's had some rough moments in there too, but this team is not 1-4 because of him. He has this offense ranked in the top 10 on the year. The Vance Joseph defense, however, guys, has been so bad. And I said piss poor. Want to know why I can say that? Because the defensive coordinator, former head coach, Vance Joseph, used the word piss in his thing about it. He's pissed off, he said, quote, and I quote, and he quotes. And he should be. We're looking at the defense numbers here. Only the 1950 Baltimore Colts, yes, I mentioned the Dallas Texans and the Baltimore Colts today, only they have allowed more points, the royal they, per game in NFL history than what the Broncos are giving up right now. If you look at the rest of the list, we haven't seen a defense this close to this bad in over 50 years. We're not even showing the yards allowed here, by the way. They're going to give up the most per game in the NFL, in NFL history as well. So this isn't like, let's let everybody off the hook and like, let's not like pour it on to Sean Payton, who, he got his just desserts. He got his toffee pudding that they have here at Wilson Arms. It's an excellent dish. I had it for dinner yesterday. He got his toffee pudding at the hands of Nathaniel Hackett and the Jets last week. And but we haven't seen a defense this bad or close to this bad in guys like 50 years. So I'm gonna say it's not gonna get any easier. By the way, I'm looking at the schedule. Hamilton has it for me. Is it Arrowhead next week for Mahomes? Oh, it's tomorrow night. Yeah, they haven't beaten. Gosh, my days are running into each other. Tell me if I'm wrong. They haven't beaten. The Broncos have not taken care of business against the Kansas City Chiefs since 2015. We'll probably play this tomorrow on the show. We talked to Sean Payton about this when we were there with him and Russell Wilson in person in Denver. They got to get back on track. This is a brutal schedule, and they got to figure it out in a hurry. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about that game. We're setting the table here for the Broncos and the Chiefs. Oh, some prime time for Vance Joseph and company. That should be fun. And speaking of fun, we got Gronk. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest Up and Adams content right on YouTube.